So I've got some random notes that I wanted to share. Some are updates, some are new things I forgot. So just a few things I wanted to cover. I have recently set this configuration for my cockpit, if you will. I have not driven with this yet. I've simulated it just by sitting down and making sure this felt okay. I previously had some items, well, I had all these items located differently. So what I have now is the GPS, that's the RV 770 to the left, as far down as I can get it to go, which does not impede any of my visibility in the mirror, which is great, or looking over the corner and that sort of thing. So that used to be up higher, up there, above the mirror, because the TPMS used to be where the GPS is now. That guy, that's the RVi Brake 3 pad, silly giant heavy thing, used to be mounted actually to the charging pad there. That was busted, so I didn't care. That has since been repaired, and I've added a QI charging case to my iPhone 7 Plus, and so I plan to put my phone there now. I used to kind of wedge the phone into one of the cup holders there with a charging cable. It was just a mess. So now the only cable I really currently have exposed is the one for the GPS. It's just going to the cigarette lighter. I can easily do something about that. Just haven't done that yet. The TPMS runs, I think they say 60 hours off the battery, so I don't really worry about that. If I do need to plug it in, I can just run the cable from there to the cigarette lighter when I'm done driving. And then the RVi Brake 3 tablet is just a cord with the USB box plugged in up there. So the cable's kind of loose, as you can see. It sits on top of it. It's, that's safe because there's actually little stopping pads in the door, so this isn't getting squished. So when I'm sitting down here, I only really need to look at these when I'm when I'm setting up. I only need to look at this during setup, and then after that, I don't really care. It'll alert if something's going wrong audibly, and sort of the same for the TPMS. I can look at it now and then just kind of ignore it, or briefly look at it every once in a while if I want to for some reason, but it'll alert me if something's going wrong. So I'm having them up there is not a big deal, and I've had them mounted there for at least 24 hours just to check that they aren't going to come off. I did pull on them pretty hard. This surface is actually making a good mounting surface for anything with a suction cup. Couldn't find any other good locations like that, so that's where they landed. Let's see. So I have a GoPro. I discovered, again, since the surface is mountable, I've got it suction cup mounted here. This I'm going to attempt to use for capturing some driving footage. When the slide comes in, the GoPro, should be positioned approximately here. The question is going to be all about whether or not the lighting is going to work with respect to being able to see that and see out the windshield. That's a Hero Plus. I really don't have a lot of control over the lighting or the focus areas, so hope that works out. But if it doesn't, any other camera I could mount there pretty easily, so we'll see. And that's just a USB cable plugged into the provided USB plug there. Since that's all part of the same slide out mechanism, that can live there permanently, basically. So, and obviously easily detachable. That was it for up front. So I did previously talk about how that takes 2 hours. I just ran the 33-minute cycle, the fast cycle, and everything came out clean. So awesome. Thank you for the tip for that. That's great. Moving on to the bathroom, I discovered, for some reason I discovered just a day or two ago, there are lights under here, and I cannot turn them on. Apparently there's a product bulletin for this with newer New Aires, or older New Aires. Those lights are supposed to come on when you turn the vanity lights on. For me, the vanity light does not turn those on. It only turns that on. And the bug that they say exists, if you want to call it a bug, is that the bed bath lights will turn it on. For some reason that managed to get wired over here, they're saying, in the product bulletin. For me, this doesn't turn them on. You know, they're still off, but it does turn on and off the accent lighting. One other thing I wanted to cover, a couple of things. I forgot to show the storage space here. So I just used the left side for all the central vac stuff. There's plenty of leftover room there. On the right hand side, I have a bath mat I'm no longer using. I stopped. I mean, it's nice. It's actually a little bit too big. It's nice. It feels nice, etc. But with the heated tile floors, I preferred to, at least when it was cooler weather, to get out of the shower on the heated tile floor. And then if I wanted to use the heated tile floors, but that was still down, it would get really hot under there. So I just stopped using it. And now it's actually a landing pad for my 27-inch, I think, monitor, 4K monitor that I use for working. So while I'm traveling, I put that there. The bed is up, and that is actually even possible despite the fact that I changed this bed out. So I had previously, that used to be the Sleep Number bed, and I swapped it out for a Bob's Bobopedic. That's their Tempur-Pedic knockoff 7-inch. That proved to be too firm for me, so I upgraded to the 9-inch soft. It's heavy. This is also tall. It's a little awkward to get into the bed, and it's very heavy. And it's a little difficult to get that up. So you have to have a fair amount of strength to get that up if you do something like this. And it feels like it's not going to hold, but it actually does hold. It kind of comes down a little bit, but it will stay put. But that's probably kind of pushing it from a weight perspective. So I've got that there, and there's no problems with the slide-out closing due to the design here. So, and lastly, two things back here. I actually just did this, I think, yesterday. Installed the Easy Tire TPMS relay sensor here. So I don't know how effective it is here. I was occasionally having one or two items not showing while I was traveling, usually like one of the furthest tires on the Jeep, and sometimes one of the inside sensors on the New Aire itself. I'm still having one of those sensors not read right now. I'm not sure why. I just went through and repaired everything to make sure everything was okay, and it paired, but it's still not reading. So that location doesn't appear to be helping with that issue. The sensor is kind of located, deep inside the wheel well, so there may be too much interference. So I have that. It's 12 volt hardwired in. I got a couple of spade lugs and crimped them on, and just used one of the spare fuses from here. And connected myself to a new terminal here and to the ground there, and that provides the permanent 12 volt source that it requires. That was very easy to do. For the RVi Brake 3 command center, I'm using its provided USB plug adapter here, and I'm just running the cable kind of haphazardly around, and again, the door doesn't shut tight against the cable there because of the because of the way it's designed, and so just kind of having it there works fine. That's 3M backed sticky. The way it ships is with a 3M backed sticky magnet mount, so that pops right off if I need to pop it off, and it leaves the magnet mount there. This I just mounted with Velcro tape that's sticky on both sides, so I can pull that off if I need to. So no permanent installations there. That's new. I put that in while I was here in Myrtle Beach. I put that item in there as well at Myrtle Beach, and I've reconfigured the cockpit, as I mentioned, while I was here. So I've not driven in this configuration yet. I'm hoping it works out well. If it doesn't, I'll make some comments to that effect. But I think that's it. I think that's all I wanted to cover. Thanks for watching.